The Carmelo Anthony case just keeps on giving. Each day produces more information and more misinformation. At this point, no one even cares about the truth anymore. If a certain event would make Karmelo appear more guilty or innocent, then fabricate it, post it on social media, and not worry about the truth of it all. This is the essence of propaganda. And both sides are doing this. Would it help Karmelo if both boys were pushing him around? Well, yeah. So that's what I heard happened. From a reliable source, of course. What if Karmelo was caught stealing items from other tents? Well, that would help him get convicted. So that's what happened. Well, I didn't see that myself, but a reliable source, yada, yada, yada. Was it pouring rain or not raining at all? Depends on whom you ask. In this video, I'm going to examine Karmelo's statements to the police that are written in the police report. I feel that we can trust what's in it. There will be things that it won't contain. Few police reports contain the whole story. But I figure that if the cop heard Karmelo say something, you can probably bet that Karmelo said it. And I want to be fair about this. I will examine his comments from both sides, the prosecutor and the defense. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With cold, blunt analysis cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's time for the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera now because the text is kind of hard to read and I want to blow this up as much as possible. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the things that he said once he was approached by the police and then detained. The first thing that he said was, I was protecting myself. That's fine. If I acted in self-defense, I want to tell the cops I acted in self-defense right away. I was scared for my life. I thought he was going to kill me. If I don't, it makes me look bad. The jury is going to wonder, why did he wait to craft this self-defense claim? Is it only because he talked to his lawyer? Think about it. I shoot a man dead who I thought was going to kill me, and the first thing I say to the cops is, I want a lawyer? It's hard not to look guilty in such a case. And I realize this flies in the face of what lawyers tell you. But Masad Ayub, in his video, made a very strong case for at least nailing down your self-defense claim early on.
It's essential to establish you were the victim and the guy laying on the ground in the puddle of blood was actually the perpetrator. We mentioned that we'd touch later on a 5-point checklist of things that needed to be established at the scene. So let's look at that now. First, you want to be the one who calls in. I would urge you anytime you're carrying a gun to have your cell phone with you. It's emergency communication for you, like a police officer's portable radio. When you call in, explain there has been a shooting, someone has been injured, if that is the case. Describe yourself as the intended victim. So when they get there at first sight, they know who's the good guy who called in, the so-called complainant.
Mind you, I don't want to say much more than that. If there is evidence that supports my claim, I want to point that out. If another assailant is on the loose, I want to give the cops a description. Other than that, I establish my self-defense and then I shut the hell up.
Oh man, I thought I was dead. I'm pretty shook up. Please, I don't want to make a statement until I calm down
and talk to my lawyer. So I don't have any problem with him saying I was protecting myself. He's establishing his self-defense claim. Now, what did Karmelo not say? Where the cops can find the knife. That's not good. If I'm claiming self-defense, I'm probably not going to ditch the weapon. And if I do, I'm probably telling the cop where he can find it. There is no doubt that I did it. There's no doubt I used a weapon to do it. Not helping the police recover the knife isn't going to look good. And I have a dangerous weapon laying out there for kids to come across. That makes me look a bit careless. Okay, so let's go ahead and read a little bit further down here. It says, he put his hands on me. Ouch. This is a good example of something that you don't want to tell the cops. Now, in Karmelo's defense, he is probably of the mindset that if someone puts his hands on you, then that justifies lethal force. But you never want to make assumptions about the law, and this assumption might put him away. Marissa Alexander in Florida made this mistake. She blurted out to the cops that I fired a warning shot. I wasn't trying to hit him. She didn't realize at the time that firing a warning shot is a fairly serious crime in Florida. If she had said that I tried to shoot him to stop his attack on me, she would have been in better shape. Never make assumptions about the law. If he had never said anything, I could tell Karmelo as his lawyer to keep his mouth shut, or there'll be another stabbing in Frisco. I could then examine what evidence there is that shows my client was only being assaulted by one boy. If there is no such evidence, I can then force the prosecution to prove that my client wasn't being accosted by two of them. Remember, the burden of proof is on the prosecution to prove that it was not self-defense. However, the prosecution can simply say now, you want that proof? Here, your own client's statement shows that only one of the boys accosted him. Of course, the real problem here is that such a statement, he put his hands on me, doesn't sound like a deadly threat.
I thought he had a knife. I thought I saw a gun. There were two of them.
All of those are far better than
He put his hands on me.
So this is pretty damaging. But that's okay. My client was nervous. The fact that both boys were attacking him simply got past him when he was talking to the cops, and the deadly threat he faced. Well, in his excitement, he simply forgot to mention it. I'm not alleged. I did it. A lot of anti-Karmelos are claiming that this is all the evidence of guilt they need. Nope. This helps my client. After all, to claim self-defense, he has to admit to the stabbing anyway. There are plenty of eyewitnesses who can finger him. The knife is going to have his DNA all over it. Any attempt to claim he didn't do the stabbing would sink him quicker than the Lusitania. So this doesn't hurt him one bit. Being forthright with what he did lends some credibility to his claim of self-defense. Not much, but it certainly won't hurt him. Okay, let's go on down. He says here, he put his hands on me. I told him not to. Ouch. There goes any strategy of mine that claimed that the first time he made this claim, he was nervous, excitable. You can't put too much stock in what he said. It was right after the stabbing, and he wasn't in a good frame of mind. But now he's had time to think it over, and he still makes a claim that directly implies that only one of the boys accosted him, and all he did was put his hands on him. Next up, is he going to be okay? This is another statement that the anti-Karmelos have been pouncing on. However, this will help him. I can use it to show that Karmelo never intended to kill Austin, only to stop whatever threat he perceived. Remember, in self-defense, you're not supposed to try and kill your attacker. You're supposed to apply lethal deadly force to stop his attacks, with the understanding that your force could, in fact, kill him. If you recall, Thomas Clare Binger tried repeatedly to get Kyle Rittenhouse to claim that he tried to kill his attackers, but Kyle was well coached and ready. In every instance, Kyle fired back that he was only trying to stop the attacks.
Good morning, Mr. Rittenhouse.
Good morning.
Everybody that you shot at that night, you intended to kill, correct?
I didn't intend to kill them. I intended to stop the people who were attacking me.
By killing them.
I did what I had to do to stop the person who was attacking me.
By killing them.
Two of them passed away, but I stopped the threat from attacking me.
By using deadly force.
I used deadly force.
That you knew was going to kill.
I didn't know if it was going to kill them, but I used deadly force to stop the threat that was attacking me.
You intentionally used deadly force against Joseph Rosenbaum, correct?
Yes.
You intentionally used deadly force against the man who came and tried to kick you in the face,
yes.
Correct? You intentionally used deadly force against Anthony Huber, correct?
Yes.
You intentionally used deadly force against Gage Grosskreutz, correct?
Yes.
With regard to Joseph Rosenbaum, you fired 4 shots at him, correct?
Yes.
You intended to kill him, correct?
I didn't intend to kill him. I intended to stop the person who was attacking me and trying to steal my gun.
So I can maybe use Karmelo's statement here to strike a plea deal down to manslaughter, or at the very least, in sentencing if he gets convicted. In the end, some of the things that Karmelo said will help him, and some will hurt him. In all honesty, his statement, he put his hands on me, I told him not to, is going to make life very difficult for his lawyer. Like my video and subscribe to my channel. And remember, I'm not a lawyer. Do not act on anything I've been saying here. If any event involving self-defense comes your way, contact a lawyer. Don't listen to some anonymous dude named Johnny Walker Dread.